Everyone, this month in general has been a crazy one for Twitch because there's so much drama, like so much crazy shit going on that actually makes it baffles you. But at the same time, for people like me that make slop videos, it's so much good content. Right, first off, like right off the bat, you had the whole story about Asmongold saying the worst opinion, the worst take in human history possible about a conflict that, I'm gonna be honest, when he said that and he got a ban on Twitch, I made it clear, I get where it's coming from, like him being banned, but I think it was a bit too much because someone like him, I hope to God there wasn't a single person that heard his opinion about genocide and Sharia law and they actually took the opinion to heart and believed him, like a politician, like an idol. But on the other hand, when you have an opinion that bad about conflict on a platform like Twitch, the kind of place that promotes, only good ideals, then yeah, it makes sense why he would get banned. So I get it on one side. But him getting banned led to a very bizarre domino effect of uncovering the hypocrisy on Twitch. First of all, Run applause to Asmongold for cleaning his sink. Very nice update. But second of all, ever since some people have pointed out how it's so bizarre, so double standards, that people like Asmongold get banned, but on the opposite spectrum, while committing the same offense, people like Frogan and Hasan are still up there on Twitch promoting some very bad stuff. It's now on the same level as promoting genocide or saying people in Palestine deserve it. It's not to that same degree of being that volatile, but they take the chance to be anti-Semitic and straight up promote terrorism, all under the veil of promoting this, of trying to be liberators for this whole conflict, supporting Palestine and saying fuck Israel. Right, you've got two big players on this side that people have been shitting on non-stop, and so have I, to be honest, in my opinion, which I think is rightful. Number one, you've got, everyone's favorite big character, Frogan. And I'm gonna be honest, for context, I'll say her full story of how she plays into the whole drama. She was one of those people that, supported the ban on Asmongold. I mean, of course, because she's exactly that kind of person. A huge left-leaning liberal that hates on that kind of shit. And I haven't seen that clip of reaction, but I imagine she was frothing at the mouth when she heard that clip of Asmongold saying that shit. But then people will quickly point out her own offenses, while she was reading out the Twitch policies, the terms of service. There was some stuff that she pointed out that would also apply to her. A myriad of different shit. But a big one, a pretty big clip that just fucked her over, was that I have no idea what event. I know exactly what it was. I remember in recent news, back how long was it ago? Yeah, about at most a week ago or 2 weeks ago, when there was some US soldiers deployed in Israel, and oh my god, right off the bat, she went on stream and said, not only was she oh fuck that shit, why they been deployed in Israel, but she straight up just said how she hopes that all US soldiers straight up get PTSD. The most bizarre thing you wish on the most, bizarre and just cruel-hearted thing you wish on someone, where, I mean, most people can agree, it's a pretty, heartless thing to wish on someone. But if you're a die-hard American that, loves the soldiers, oh my god, that would have made you fucking want to strangle her.
I have no pity at all for any fucking soldiers. I will never have any fucking pity for any fucking soldiers. The US military that are I did this back then, but now I know it's wrong. I'm changed. Fuck imperialism. Fuck this. You don't deserve the PTSD. But any other motherfucker, you're joining them. You're, oh my god, I want my fucking Camaro, no student loans. Fuck you. I hope you get PTSD, and I hope you get no health insurance when you get back into fucking America.
My god, she looks so annoying. I will never have any fucking pity for those people. So irritating. And I'm sorry, I'm looking at her now. She's such a bizarre character. Right, you've got the stream calling her out, some people were, other people are agreeing with her. You've got a donation goal for someone doing makeup, a fucking egg count of 54. I have no idea what that means. And was she drinking olive oil halfway through? I have no idea what that is. It looks like olive oil or whatever if it was. But yeah, you know, people called her out, you know, on how horrible her opinion was. And she made a subsequent reaction to that clip being like, you know what, like after backlash, you know what, I still agree with that. I still agree with it based. I think it's based. So, you know, like clearly not caring at all.
And I hope you get no health insurance when you get back into fucking America. And they posted it in my head. I'm like, base? Like, am I supposed to be like I'm not walking back on it. I still fucking agree with it.
I know when I first watched that clip, okay, I'm gonna be honest, you know, completely honest. When I first watched that clip, I wasn't as, you know, as hateful to her as some other people, because that opinion of, you know, hoping American soldiers get PTSD or just die, it seemed like such a generic white girl opinion on Twitter. Like, you know, like they have like the Free Palestine emoji on the Twitter bio. It seems so generic. Her saying that on a live stream doesn't stand out that much. And, you know, I'll be honest, you know, the first time I saw her, I was pissed off at her. Because the first time I saw her, I legitimately believed she was like a Islamic weeaboo. Like the one celebrity that went to like Iraq and wanted to like kidnap a homeless kid and get punched in the face. Like that woman, you know. Someone who loves Islam so much, they're completely, like, you know, pale white, but they believe, you know, they're devoted to Islam 100%, wearing like the hijab and everything. But, you know, in her defense, she is half Lebanese, you know, half white as well, but half Lebanese as well. So, you know, not entirely, you know, like a fucking weeaboo, at least half of it. But in my Asmon video, I called him out on that one part where right after the backlash, he made an apology on Twitter that felt very shallow. And, you know, my main issue with apologies nowadays is that if they're quickly made after, you know, like a backlash, like a controversy, it makes it feel like the person that made it didn't have like a change of opinion. They just more so saw the backlash, and in order to do like damage control, they made a very quick apology, make it seem like, you know, like they really feel bad. When in reality, they allowed no time to have the opinion changed, and just made like a very superficial apology that in reality, like in their mind, they don't really believe. Like, they might feel bad for, you know, offending people, but they don't really have the opinion changed, like, at all. And here you go, right? Like this was the apology she made, where she backtracked on it and said, you know, when I was referring to the US soldiers, I meant the ones that have no remorse. I realized that wishing people harm isn't the best way to talk about these issues, and that I could have talked about these topics in a more sensitive way. I mean, she making it seem like, you know, like her comment was like an offhand comment that was taken the wrong way. But I mean, like, you've got like a whole stream to think about it, and, like, you know, like construct your point the best way possible. But you only backtracked on after the backlash, so that's well. And I'm gonna be honest, one final nail in the coffin that made me really, you know, find her gay and cringy and gay was this clip before something I'll show you later, where she was doing like a donation goal where, you know, the arrogance, it ranged from 4,000 to almost 7 grand, and one of these goals, you know, they got bigger and bigger, but one of these, which one was it? Let me fucking find this one, the third final one, where it was called 9/11 Baking Stream with Raph and Capri. I believe those two people are friends with her, you know, like mods on Twitch, like other big streamers. But God, the idea, but she lives in America, definitely. The idea of someone, you know, like taking this opportunity, this whole conflict, you know, of being like a Islamic weeaboo, like her 50%, and doing something like so edgy and gay, of, you know, making like a Twin Towers cake to, like, you know, make like a cake plane to crash it into. That seems so gay and cringy. It's very hard for me to like distinguish this personality from like some cringy, you know, teenager back in like the 2010s that, you know, hated America and, you know, wants liberation for the Middle East. Oh, that's well, I'm sorry, but there's so many clips of her saying like how she hates America and it should burn to the ground, while at the same time living in America. Like, okay, you know, I understand, you know, the US, you know, #1 country, has a lot of issues, has a very fucked up past, But if you really want like the Western society you live in to crumble, then why are you still living there? Like, your life is so much easier there, you know? You don't really understand how your life would be worse and how you'd have no voice online if you lived anywhere else. Like, her life would be so bad if she lived like in Lebanon, where, you know, she's actually from, or where her parents are from. But she stays in America, you know, rightfully so, because it's a much better, you know, standard of living. But don't act like, you know, like that home, that country is so bad, it should be fucking burnt to the ground and, you know, like never be remembered in history. The last thing I'll close on her, you know, like the last big of story in this whole timeline was that recently she got banned on Twitch. I think like people like finally realizing like, you know, how shitty she is and how much, you know, anti-Semitic she is, and, you know, breaking the policies, you know, to that degree on Twitch. I think people finally realize, you know, how bad she is, you know, finally called her out to the point that Twitch was like, okay, we'll ban her. The one thing I'll defend her on is that, you know, she got a 30-day ban, while Asman got a 2-week ban. I feel like you should make it fair, both of them should get like the same one, around 2 weeks. 1 month is a lot, when in my mind, I mean, like, you know, she's not much better than Asman Gold, you know, like, you know, in terms of morals. But I think Asman, you know, gave an opinion so vocal and aggressive, it makes sense why he got banned. But, you know, because of Frogan made a similar, she had like a similar aggression to much more subtle detail. So you should get like an equal ban to him. Which one's the worst character, like a worst person? I'm not sure. I don't want to get into that debate. But having a double long ban as some other person, then yeah, I think that's a bit unfair. However, you can't talk about Frogan without mentioning Hasan, because he's another big play in the story. He's actually the biggest play in the story, actually. Never mind, I take it back. Like, he's so massive. Like, Frogan wouldn't be a character in the story if it wasn't for Hasan, who basically, you know, platformed her, boosted her, made her massive, and put her on the spotlight. Well, actually, it was the shitty opinions that put her on the spotlight, and it was her own, you know, horrible opinions that made her own downfall. But it was him that, you know, made her popular in a way to, you know, boost the Free Palestine movement, you know, and how, in his own words, she's a Muslim woman that deserves to have a voice heard by everyone. And truthfully, before I was prepping for this video, like much like Frogan, I didn't find him that annoying until, you know, I was looking up more stuff about him, and there was so much shit. Like, when I heard people call him like anti-Semitic and, you know, like a straight up terrorist supporter and advocate, I was like, there's no way that's true. But like, there was so much shit that was like so blatantly clear that he doesn't give a shit, and like he would just boost anything on his platform, on his Twitch, to like make it seem like he's supporting the Free Palestine movement. Like, the biggest one that, you know, like, just took me off, like made me like, oh, what the fuck, was how in one stream with a friend, he like actually put like a music video made by the Houthi terrorist organization, and even his friend, like, while watching it, was like, okay, how the fuck is this a music video and not anything else than a very clear propaganda video?
Here they are holding up the signs, as I pointed out, that says "Death to Israel, curse upon the Jews, death to America," right there on display.
A 3-minute video of what do you mean a music video? When you said music video, I'm expecting like, bad example, Chris Brown dancing, you know.
No. They do like, they do musicals. They're very musical people.
Are you being serious?
Dog, what do you, look, you think I made this?
This isn't music. I know they're singing, but I'm seeing just guns and shit. This isn't a music video, Hasan.
No, it is. They do musicals about like their fucking, like their actions all the time.
Yeah, that's called terrorist propaganda. They do it to package it in a nice way, to appeal to a broader audience. And Hasan is doing exactly their bidding, more than they could have ever dreamed of, by broadcasting this directly into the main line of Twitch.
Okay, I'm not sure if it can place on YouTube, because even the most like liberal person, like, you know, the most left-leaning, can watch this and still be like, this is just like propaganda, clearly and blatantly. And the way he defends it, being like, okay, the people are very like they're musically, from what he said, you know, like it might seem violent, you know, hateful to Israel and Jews and Americans, but, you know, that's just the way they sing, you know, in a similar manner. And again, it's the same offense that Frogan did, where he's supporting an organization that says, death to America, while he himself lives in America. Like the biggest fucking irony. And going back to what I said before about people, putting up the terms of service and policies of Twitch to also criticize him, it was this one clip that made me realize, yeah, they're definitely right. Like, this is so very clean, like supporting terrorism or promoting it on your platform, that there's no other way to look at it other than you being like very blind or dumb. Like the biggest sign of you trying to virtue signal and just trying to ignore it being, clearly terrorism. And people now are being like, oh, Hasan should be banned as well, just like Frogan, because he was saying the same shit. And I feel like he should. That would be like double standards, like he's making the same offenses as Frogan, but I really don't think he will, because he's just so massive. He definitely deserves it, but when you're like that, when you're as massive as him on Twitch, you really have to make the worst fuck up ever to get banned. Like, oh my god, like I think he might actually potentially hold up a flag of the terrorism organization on the background, and he was saying it would look really cool, very very liberal, very like a liberator, but that might actually get him banned. I mean, he was doing similar shit before. Okay, I'll talk about this, but whatever I say now, they were a pinch of salt. There was some other guy, a terrorist that was in Somalia, who people were calling a pirate, he was stealing, he was boarding on ships and stealing shit, and he platformed him, because he wanted to seem he wanted to support the Palestine movement, but even his own fans were like, this guy's so clearly a terrorist. What the fuck is he doing, for Palestine, even a tiny bit? As well as just being so anti-Semitic, to the point that it feels like you're so far removed from the whole, movement of free Palestine. Again, that's the one character or story I know the least about, but the other shit about, that one clip, Frogan, all their shit, that would be enough to realize, what kind of people they are and how they're going so far, just jumping off a cliff, going to the extreme of supporting a movement to the point that it's just being delusional. I will say now, however, I hate the internet. Most big stuff people just jump on for a bandwagon, but most of the time, about 80% of the time, some people will look back at a case of some controversy and realize who the wrong party is. And I'm praying to God that Hasan is one of those cases where people really support him now, but after in a couple of years, once there's peace in the conflict, people will look back at Hasan and be like, wait a second, most of the stuff he was doing in the name of free Palestine was so dumb. It was so clearly blatant that what he was doing was so fucked up. And I do hope that's the case, but again, his fan base is so massive, he could just pivot from that to cover up this history. And again, like I said, right now, with the drama being fresh, instead of ongoing, he could do the dumbest thing ever by holding up a flag on stream from a terrorist, he could do that. Or he could take this time to realize, very slowly, wait a second, I might be going a bit too extreme to the point that feels unnecessary and very dumb, and it could get me banned on Twitch. Again, it all depends on him, but I really feel it would be the first option, where he keeps going, he sees everyone suppressing him, to the worst degree, and he'll keep on going head first, making it worse, burning his career into absolutely ash. But he doesn't care, in his eyes, in his own eyes, he's a liberator. What he's doing is 100% right. No pity at all.